This session happened last year, as you know, and due to popular demand, it's back. So we want to understand, has anything happened in the last year? But before we get to the panelists, I would just like to give you a good delivery list update. What have we been up to at the LBMA in terms of the physical side of the market? It has been an eventful year. It's been an exciting year. Earlier on in the year, we attended the OECD in Paris and managed to find ourselves in the middle of a riot. And I now know what tear gas smells like. But it wasn't a fun place to be, but it just shows you how dedicated we are to go out there and actually do good stuff. Okay, I would like to start with what are the changes that have happened since Barcelona. I would just like to say that the number of applications we're getting at the moment, the level of applications, the level of interest in becoming a good delivery list refiner is at unprecedented levels. And I'm not just talking about China here. We're getting applications from all over the world for people who want to be part of the good delivery system. When somebody applies to be a refiner, we ask them a question. We ask, why do you want to be a good delivery list refiner? And there's some obvious answers. You know, like the cost of doing business becomes less, the cost of raising finance is less. And also, it means that you are supplying your products into legitimate markets and getting the appropriate money for your products and not having to trade at a discount. But what's more and more the answers that we're getting when we say, why do you want to be a good delivery list, is it is an international mark of quality. And whether you're a refinery in Kazakhstan or China or Europe even, people know that if you're a good delivery list refiner, you are at the top table. You are the best refiners in the world. And that's what people say, we want to be the best. It is important to recognize, however, that the good delivery lists are also dynamic. Previously, for many, many years, if you got onto the good delivery list, you were on the list for life. That's not the case anymore. We're all about maintaining those standards, raising the bar, improving the standards. And some people aren't able to meet those standards. Unfortunately, they have to be removed from the list. There are other reasons why refineries go out of business and they stop operating, or there's mergers, there's acquisitions. So unfortunately, we did lose the oldest European refinery last year. And Ruth asked me to say how old they were, and I couldn't find out. All I knew that they were listed pre-1932. So unfortunately, we lost Schörner. The throughputs. Oh, the number's missing. Sorry, the number's missing on my slide. You can see it there. You'll see that there's been a steady increase. However, now we've seen a decrease. And the people who look at the numbers will understand that the amount of scrap coming through refineries is decreased significantly. And that's reflected there. And we are going to be discussing that just now. So moving on. So highlights since Barcelona in terms of responsible sourcing. The OECD alignment assessment was completed last year, and I'm pleased to say, it may seem like a long time ago, but the LBMA's responsible sourcing program is 100% aligned with the OECD, and that was externally verified. The implications of that is that when EU regulations come in I think 2020, our program will be one of the programs that the EU will recognize as being compliant. The other thing that we're looking at is that we monitor the amount of non-conformances that are coming through in the audit reports. And as people improve, the number of non-conformances is obviously going to decrease. We're expecting that to change next year. Because we're introducing version 8 of the Responsible Gold guidance, which includes environment and sustainability, we fully expect that a number of refineries during the year of implementation are going to have non-conformances. That's not a bad thing. That's nothing to get worried about. It just means that, again, we're raising the bar, we're raising the standards. It means that people are going to have to try harder and do better to make sure that they stay on the lists and meet their requirements. So Responsible Gold 8, that's coming. Responsible Silver is already there, so we're expecting the first audits next year. Having said that, a number of refineries are already doing the multiple metal audits, and we thank them for really adopting it early. Elaine covered at length how miners are doing a good job. It's important that the refiners and the producers talk to each other, cooperate and collaborate, so that the mines aren't getting the same questions from, the mines are getting the same questions from any refinery to make sure that they're meeting their requirements. So we're engaging upstream, World Gold Council. We were in a room a couple of months ago. Elaine was present, the producers were there, the World Gold Council was there, and we're working together with them, as well as ICMM. You saw the points that they're trying to promote. Also ASM, we're really supporting responsible ASM sourcing. That's why you see that the Journeys of Gold film is here. If you haven't seen it, please go and see it. And after this session, there is going to be a film that you'll be able to watch here that will sort of like the making of Journeys of Gold, to give you a bit of background as to why that work is being done. So we are supporting responsible ASM sourcing. But also downstream. Downstream wants to know where the gold came from, and we need to be able to tell them where the gold came from. But also, there are many stakeholders in here involved in this. So whether it's the NGOs, whether it's governments, whether it's central banks, everybody should be discussing this because it's the right thing to do. Where are we going? We often get, the LBMA sometimes gets criticised for constantly changing things, and there's a lot of refiners who don't like change. But we will carry on striving to make sure that we do a good job. A couple of projects that are running, the certified reference materials. It was such a good project that we sold out. So we've had to make new ones, and they should be available next year. The referees, who do a fantastic amount of work for us to making sure that the good delivery list applicants are up to standard, but also making sure that the maintenance of the good delivery lists is also fit for purpose. But again, with the amount of applications we're getting, we need more referees. So we have embarked upon a process to expand the referees group. As I've said earlier, we're going version 8, we've got in silver, and we've been working with the LPPM for unresponsible platinum and palladium. The biggest project, however, the really exciting project, and my colleague Sakila will be talking about this later, hopefully. But yeah, the really exciting project is the Gold Bar Integrity RFP, where not only do we know where the gold came from, but there aren't any imposters in the market. If you see a gold bar, you know where it came from, and it is actually what it says on the tin.